Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, October 27th, and time for our annual Halloween edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Garrett K. Schrute.
And I'm Reagan Bones. On today's show, we bring you a story over some of the paranormal activity taking place in teachers' classrooms this school year.
We'll bring you a story over Homestead's popular new club, the Ping-pong Club, and you'll learn what it's all about and how you can get involved.
We're bringing you a story over the new Homeland security class at Homestead taught by Mr. Decker.
You'll learn about the new Southwest Allen County website and the people behind the upgrade.
And Garrett has a fall recap, 2-minute drill, and Riley's back with the weekend weather forecast.
We'll have all those stories and much, much more, so stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
This year I decided to really get into the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah!
It may have been the costliest decision I've ever made. My greased up head went into the pumpkin no problem.
Garrett, it won't budge.
But I can't get it out.
Let me pull it.
Stop.
I mean, I could try destroying the pumpkin.
Sit still.
But a shankle I discovered. Any blow to the pumpkin itself could prove fatal to me.
At first, I drove myself crazy about thinking about the things I should have done differently. Never should have played that joke on Reagan. Never should have hollowed out the stupid pumpkin in the first place. But then I realized I was being silly. I mean, the pumpkin should rot off my head in a month or two, right?
We start today's spooky episode with a look at some of the creepy things that have been taking place in a couple of our teachers' classrooms this school year. Is it a coincidence or are paranormal things actually happening here at Homestead? You be the judge. Here's Sydney Scholl.
Legend has it that Homestead is home to many ghosts and possessed beings. We have investigated these very mysteries in the past, but teachers have been experiencing paranormal activity in their classrooms.
Oh, it was about 2 years ago, right about this time of year, PSAT time, and we got our yearly email from Mrs. Lemke telling us that we should test our TVs to make sure that the monitors worked, and so I did, and it wasn't working, and I didn't have a remote, so I called her and asked her to come down to help, and then about a week later I decided I was going to test it one more time just to make sure that everything was all right, and it wasn't on channel 73, so I had her come down and fix it again. And so we decided we were going to leave the TV on overnight because the PSAT was the next day. And I put a note on it for the custodians not to turn off the TV to make sure that it was ready the next day. I came in the next morning and the TV was off. And so I thought, well, maybe someone shut it off and it wasn't a big deal. So I turned it on and it wasn't on channel 73. But then they decided that they wanted to switch the TV out because we couldn't figure out what was happening because right after the PSAT day concluded, I was in my room working and all of a sudden the TV just came on by itself and it was super loud and static and everything. So I turned it off and I called Mrs. Lemke and she ordered a new TV brought in. So they put in the new TV the next couple of days and sure enough, it happened again. So even with the new TV, now I've got this thing turning on day after day after day.
Haunted Homestead has recognized phantoms all over the building, but the radio and television teacher has been experiencing technology-related suspicions in his room as well.
The computer that's actually over my shoulder right now, the only computer we have of about 20 different computers in the radio and TV area, will just do odd things by itself. And it felt like I probably picked up on it before anybody else did, and I was actually always curious if it was happening to anybody else. But it would do things like the mouse would move, and at first I thought maybe it was just like a hypersensitive mouse. And then one time I'm working on it and a program would actually just close by itself, or a program would open, or something with sound would play, and I'm teaching class, and everybody would turn around and look back, and I have no idea. I just pretty much think the computer's possessed or doesn't like something about where it's at. This is actually the second year that we've had this computer in the area, and it was probably actually around Halloween last year or a little after, sometime during first semester, later in first semester, that I noticed it for the first time. I'm used to it now because obviously I know it's nothing that big of a deal, but something's very possessed with the computer, and a few times it's actually happened with students that have been working on it too, and I notice they kind of don't know what's going on or think somebody's playing a trick on them, and it's just kind of an inside joke now that that is the possessed computer.
Now that we are in the heart of spooky season, you must always keep an eye out when roaming the halls. I'm Sydney Scholl reporting for HHS In Depth. Happy Halloween, Homestead.
Juniors and seniors, the following colleges will be visiting Homestead. If you would like to attend a meeting, please sign up in Student Services at least one day prior to the visit. You must have a signed green pass in order to attend the visit. On Monday, October 30th, the University of Miami, the U, on Wednesday, November 8th, Grand Valley State University.
Love to ball out? YMCA intramural basketball is starting again, and tee packets are available in the discipline office. The cost is $35 and includes a team shirt. Games are Tuesdays or Thursdays after school at the Y. Completed packets need to be turned in by today.
The semi-formal dance is scheduled for Saturday, November 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. Tickets go on sale November 6th at all lunch mods. If you plan to bring a guest who is not a Homestead student, you must turn in the completed dance guest form. The forms are available in the discipline office and on the Homestead website and are due by 3 p.m. on November 8th. These forms require the signature of an administrator from your guest school as well as the student's parents.
Go out and support your Homestead Spartan cheerleaders as they compete at Greenfield Central High School tomorrow for state prelims. They have worked hard this season and would love to see support from their peers. They perform at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Go join YAF, Young Americans for Freedom, next Monday at 2:45 in room 718 for their next meeting to discuss current events and politics. All are welcome and snacks will be provided.
And now here's a story over a club 2 years in the making, the Ping-pong Club. Reporter Derek Hockemeyer headed over to a recent meeting to see what makes this club go.
The Ping-pong Club is a recent addition to Homestead's many clubs. It took a while to get up and running, but it is now quickly growing in popularity.
Ping-pong Club is a great way to just stay off the streets, really. You look at these kids here, and if it weren't for Ping-pong Club, they'd be running wild.
Ping Pong Club is usually held in the cafeteria every other Wednesday, and we just come here and play some pong.
This Just for Fun club doesn't have any official games like an average Homestead sport would. However, that doesn't stop the competition.
What we do is we just set up tables, we just play games, let everyone get their game in, and I just topspin on everyone because I'm a lot better. We interact with each other, play doubles, or we just play solos with each other. We have a lot of fun here.
Ping Pong Club isn't just about the action. Students involved often find themselves meeting new people.
People who didn't get to know each other get to play against each other, or friends just play against friends, because I know some people don't have the time to play against each other out of school, so this is a good way people can interact with each other, make new friends, and play ping pong with each other in the process.
The members of the club have many different experience and skill levels.
Mostly I just beat everyone because I'm a lot better at ping pong.
I started playing ping pong seriously about 10 years ago, and it changed everything for me.
With the supply of ping pong tables being short, the club has a special request.
If you guys have any ping pong tables sitting in your basement or not in use, it'd be great if you guys could donate it for the club. We really could use it, and if you guys did, more people could join and play ping pong.
If you want to be a part of this club, just head down to the cafeteria every other Wednesday after school. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Derek Hockemeyer.
Today, there will be a call-out meeting for the wrestling team from 3:30 to 4 in room 422. This meeting is for anyone who is interested in participating on the team this season. If you are unable to attend the meeting, please contact Coach DeVoe via email at spartangrappling@gmail.com.
If you missed the informational meeting about traveling out west this summer with the Environmental Work Study Group, it is not too late to sign up. Stop by Miss Merkling's or Mr. Yeager's room to get the paperwork and teacher recommendation forms as soon as possible. Seats are filling up quickly, so don't miss out on your chance to share in this 2-week memorable experience.
And now here is a story over a new class being taught at Homestead by Mr. Decker. Reporter Reed Burton takes a look at the course Homeland Security.
Intro to Homeland Security, a new course offered at Homestead High School taught by Mr. Decker, is a class that uses current events to teach students about the importance of protecting our country. Mr. Decker, who has a master's degree in Homeland Security and 20-plus years experience in the Coast Guard, was the perfect choice to teach this course to Homestead students.
Well, I was approached by the administration a couple of years ago about the possibility of teaching this course due to the fact that I have a master's degree in Homeland Security and I've also spent 23 years in the Coast Guard. And so through Ivy Tech, we were able to get a dual credit option for Homestead students.
The course topic is typically described as unique by the students and Mr. Decker, as it covers diverse topics with a range of different classroom activities.
Well, certainly the topic lends itself to a lot of great discussions. There's always something new every day that we can talk about. It's not just about terrorist acts, but also natural disasters, and then trying to keep our critical infrastructure safe. And I think that appeals to a lot of people, especially in today's climate.
Although this class is open to all Homestead students, it particularly benefits a certain group of career fields.
We learn about careers that are in the Department of Homeland Security. We have a lot of guest speakers that come into the class, and also there's a lot of political debate that we do.
Makes this class unique, I feel, is that it's very career-based. If you're interested in Homeland Security, you learn a lot, and it just keeps you really engaged because it's something that you're interested and plan on going on into the future. We do a lot of videos about careers in Homeland Security, and we have a lot of political debates.
Although this class is open to all Homestead students, it particularly benefits a certain group of career fields.
I would recommend this course to anyone who may be interested in a law enforcement career, someone who might be interested in being a lawyer, and also anyone who's interested in entering into the military.
Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Reed Burton.
If you've browsed the SACS or Homestead website since the beginning of the school year, you may have noticed that they have been upgraded. To learn more about that and what else is on the horizon, here's reporter Kaylee Behrens.
You may have noticed that Homestead has a new website this year. I caught up with CMT to figure out a little more about the new website and what it entails.
We've launched this year a communication upgrade. The upgrade itself is coming out in phases, and phase 1 was the new website. Based on the answers on the survey, parents and students told us what they liked, what they didn't like about our old website. So our new website kind of took all of that information and hopefully launched a more user-friendly website.
The new website is supposed to be a lot easier to use for the students and the district.
Well, I hope the new website provides some ease of use that the old one did not have. The old one I thought was a little bit more difficult to find information and find the information that students were looking for. And our goal was no more than 3 clicks to get to the information you need to get to.
There are also 2 other phases of these technology updates that are going to be put in place this year.
You know, the website, as exciting as that was to be launched in July, we actually have a couple more phases coming as well. Phase 2 is actually our text notification. We're working with school messengers notification system to enable mass emails, text, as well as voicemails. We'll be using this to communicate with our families, our students, and our community about school delays, cancellations, and emergencies. And then as we roll that out, we're also going to be rolling out in phase 3 an app. The app will be a SACS app, which again it will kind of pull together all of the information, all the services that we provide into one easy to use mobile app.
The new website is just the start of the new updates being put in place this year. Keep your eyes open for the new updates from CMT coming soon. For HHS In Depth, I'm Kaylee Behrens.
And now here's Riley Kumala with a look at the weekend weather forecast.
Salutations, Homestead. It's Riley Victor Kamala here, and it's time for your weekend weather forecast. I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but Garrett Willis will not be taking over. I am still your weatherman. This weekend, we're looking at some pretty wet and muggy weather, so hopefully it clears up by the time Halloween comes around. Today, we're looking at afternoon showers with a high of 59 and a low of 38. Tomorrow, there will be morning showers with a high of 46 and a low of 35. And Sunday, the rain will finally go away with a high of 45 and a low of 34. Well, that wraps up this weekend weather forecast. Have a very spooky weekend, Homestead.
And now Garrett heads over to the sports set for a fall recap edition of the 2-minute drill.
Hello, Homestead. If you didn't hear already, I'm Garrett K. Schrute, and it's time for the 2-minute drill. Apparently here at Homestead we have a lot of sports, and a lot of them have wrapped up their seasons recently. Let's take a look at what the Spartan teams did this fall. Here you go.
The girls' golf team had their best season in school history as they finished 5th at the state finals, moving up 3 spots on the leaderboard the second day at state. The girls' soccer team recorded 6 wins on their season, as their season was highlighted with a 6-0 win against Canterbury in August. The boys' cross-country team got to the semi-state for the 4th year in a row, finishing 7th and only a few points away from advancing to the state meet. The volleyball team improved their chemistry this year, winning 20 games and getting to the second round of the sectional. The boys' tennis team got to the state finals, advancing to the quarterfinal match along with avenging their 2016 regional defeat to Leo. The football team is still in action as they went 8-1 this season and finished solo second in the conference behind Snyder. The girls' cross-country team advanced to the state finals this last weekend, finishing in the top 6 at the semi-state to punch their ticket to Terre Haute. And lastly, the boys' soccer team won 10 games this year as they won a sectional game against Northside and advanced to the championship against Warsaw.
Your Spartan football team is in action tonight as they will start sectional play in a grudge match against Snyder at Spooler Stadium. The game kicks off at 7 and the gates open at 6 p.m. Also, good luck to the girls cross-country team as they'll be competing at the state finals in Terre Haute tomorrow. Your quote of the week comes from the Dwight K. Schrute, as he said, "Before I do anything, I ask myself, would an idiot do that? And if the answer is yes, then I do not do that thing." That'll do it for this week's edition of the 2-minute drill. I'm Garrett K. Schrute. Have a great weekend, and Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Reagan Bones.
And I'm Garrett K. Schrute. Thank you for watching today.
And now here's this week's Picture of the Week.
To have your photo in the running for Picture of the Week, just email us a high-resolution photo in landscape mode with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.